Good day, everyone. These videos were created as a result of a questionnaire conducted amongst teenagers and young adults of what the various mental health challenges they face in this day and age. This questionnaire was conducted anonymously so they could be as honest as possible and not be concerned about the stigma attached to asking such personal questions. Numerous mental health questions and issues were identified by this group, which these various videos address. As much as these videos are of value to teenagers and young adults, they are also highly recommended for the parents of Generation Z, as this age group is called, and anyone else who also engages them or interacts with kids. So let's dive into it. Let's start with the questions. My parents fight a lot over small things in the past 20 years. This impacts me and my siblings. My mental health has deteriorated purely because of the presence of a toxic environment in my family. How does one move past this scenario? How do I or we ignore the environment at home for the betterment of our mental health? Powerful questions. These are sadly a common and popular situation, sadly, at home. So let's look at the answer. Our parents are mainly in a survivalist mindset. That means they are striving daily to provide the basics. They may very well be constantly under pressure and overwhelmed, not therefore in a good mental and emotional space. In their wanting to give the best for their children, they may very well be on edge, anxious, irritated and agitated. This, we know, can definitely lead to disagreements, arguments and fights. Sometimes parents don't know any better, and the space they create, even though it may not be good, is unfortunately seems to them as being normal. They accepted pain and hardship when they were growing up as normal, and therefore their normal is one of pain and hardship. Parents, I know this might sound strange, but are also human. They are human, and yes, they too struggle with life situations. They may not admit it, but they are also going through their own mental and emotional challenges. So it comes down to, how do you, as a teenager, young adult, deal with this? What you need to learn is, and this is what life is going to call of you, be it once you leave your parents. I know some of us are saying, I need to get out of that house. Is you and I need to learn, be it whether you're an old guy like me or a young teenager like you, the power of resilience. We need to be compassionate and caring in this world in order for us to be compassionate and caring to ourselves. Do not allow the environment, even if it is the most toxic, to make you. Rather, you and I need to learn to be strong and resilient so we make our environment. Yes, I know you could ask, you are young, you don't have power, you don't have influence. Yet persevere and learn from that young age to build that resilience, to be not because of the circumstances and situations, but rise powerful in spite and despite the circumstances and situations. This may very well be a situation where it is up to us to find a way to build ourselves no matter the surroundings and situation. It won't make logical sense, but that allows you to conquer your mind. And analogy I always think of is like, you know the sky is blue, but sometimes it seems like your parents are insisting the sky is green. And you wonder, well, where it all comes from. But life teaches us that, unfortunately, no matter what we think, what we feel, what we may inherently know, life does not necessarily give us what we want. I know it's tough, more so for you as a young person, to change your physical environment. You are living under your parents' roof and are reliant on them for your daily needs. Yet, you now have the capacity, more so than before, to change your mental and emotional environment. You can change and shift your mental attitude to the physical environment you live in. This is the development of resilience and allows you to persevere. How do you do this? Start with a dream. Have a dream. Use your imagination. Do not negate this power that is within you to change the world you live in. You can shift in time the world you live in. That's guaranteed. You can determine the places you will go, away from the negative environment you find yourself in, and that will happen in time. You need to, at this stage, have hope, faith, and conviction. Create a belief in a more powerful, happier, and joyful world. Start with your dream. As much as you imagine it, think of it, write it down, draw it, and I know you more so than the generation before, video it, whatever suits you. Then no matter what, keep at it. If no one believes you, you believe. If they laugh at you, you believe. If the fighting continues, keep on, just believe. If it feels like it's just not working out, keep doing it, keep believing in it. You take up the responsibility then to live well wherever you are. You then become in charge of yourself. You take control of yourself as well as you can. As much as the environment may not be good physically, you endeavor to shift and control your world at a mental and emotional level. Yes, you may not be able to control others, but you can definitely learn to control your mind. You must build yourself so well that no matter what the chaos is around you, no matter what the toxicity is around you, you manage your psychological and emotional health, and thereby you manage your life. Also, if you feel that family life is getting just too bad and you cannot cope, and you have taken responsibility, as I said, so part of your responsibility is to reach out for help. Another important point, there's a saying, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. What it means is that those you give value, meaning, and power to in your life are those we are most influenced by or surrounded by. We are growing up generally surrounded by our parents, siblings, and possibly other family members. Beyond that, we have our friends, teachers, coaches, neighbors, all these people. Now the question comes up, how do we change that average? Because that's the physical world you live in. How do we make that average, as much as you consider it mediocre or toxic, more powerful than we can imagine beyond your current circle? And I'll tell you, first of all, is to do something which I hope is very simple, and that is to read, read, and read. Read ferociously and aggressively. Expand your mind and thinking through reading beyond the world you live in, that toxic space you live in. In fact, that way you explore beyond this earth to space and beyond, ancient civilizations, explorers, entrepreneurs, leaders, anyone and everyone you can think of. Figure out how they think. Wire your mind so that it matches the aspirations of those who made a difference to the planet. Think of those people you consider as your role model. What you are doing then is shifting your average. You have brought the author of the book into your world, or the person that the video is focused on into your world. For example, the endeavors of an explorer are now brought from the invisible to your visible world, from the impossible to the possible. And thereby you change your world from the toxic to the bliss you seek. In this day and age, it's possible to go beyond just reading. With social media, you read, you talk to, you watch, you interact with many of those you would like to consider as mentors, coaches, or even a guru. We can watch them live at their game. We can hear their most innermost thoughts. I know some people put that onto social media. This may not change your current toxic environment, but it definitely shifts your future. You can definitely shift beyond the current scenario you live in. It becomes the push to achieve more, the catalyst to drive you further. makes this constant toxic environment, as much as you may call it, in fact, the fuel, the energy to drive you further in life. So yes, you can shift out of the space you live in. Move from the toxicity to a place that is beautiful, calm, and blissful. You determine the world you live in. You can make it happen. Thanks. Till next time we meet, take care. Bye.